Well, you already know what it is. It's another episode of eThought Conversations where we talk to people who are entertaining, who are educational, who are engaging, who are difference makers in this world. And oh boy, I tell you today, I got a worldwide difference maker. He needs no introduction. He's just an award-winning songwriter, artist, producer, filmmaker, actor, father, brother. He probably a pastor. I don't know. We'll get into that, but none other than the living legend, the genius himself, Mr. Fred Hammond. What's up, baby?
E-Bone. Good, man. What up, though?
What up, doe? He's originally from Detroit, so y'all know he can say, what up, doe? Listen, man, I want to get straight into it. So my first question, I'm a fan out a little bit, so just bear with me. It's going to be a lengthy. But, your song is a song every Sunday morning somewhere. Whenever I'm preaching, my go-to song is Bread of Life. That's my go-to. But what else I'm gonna sing? And then your friend, our pastor, Bishop Ellis, he always sings, just to be close to you. And I'm singing it because I ain't never sung with Fred Hammond, so I put that on my resume now.
Put it on there, Doc.
I'm gonna put it on there. So I'm listening to the radio one Sunday night. A friend of mine was doing DJ here in Detroit, and he played this song, and it was a Fred Hammond song. I never heard it before. I was like, oh, that's sweet. Okay. And then it transitioned into Total Praise. And I was like, what? It's all big. It blew me away. So when I tell you, you are my life, Total Praise, I ain't got like 3 go-tos. That's one of my go-tos, brother. And it gets me there every time.
So to Richard Smallwood, rest in peace.
Yeah, so you tag that with Total Praise. Now, Total Praise is a classic. I don't know if you make classics better. However, I think you can give a different interpretation and an experience. And what you put on Total Praise, it's like, I equate it to like the King James Version, and then there's the Message Bible.
Yeah, it is, Doc.
It's the same context,
freshen
but
up.
It's fresh stuff.
That's all.
So we say rest in peace to Richard Smallwood. My question is, how did you tag that? What was your mindset? And then what did Smallwood say? Did y'all discuss that? What did you say about that?
Absolutely, because I had to get it cleared, even though we were on the same record company. And I knew Richard. Richard was a good friend of mine. You know what I mean? He always was very nice to me. And he was an amazing musician. And when we were doing the rehearsals in Detroit with Noel and Big Tom and Marvin and Kenyon and the RFC, our rehearsals wasn't just rehearsals. Like, we would start a song and then it might break into something. You know, Dave Ivey or this one, we might just break into anything, just like boom. And then I just started singing, Total Praise, and they went in. And the RFC just went in. I'm like, doggone it. And so I said, let's do it. We did it live, and we reached out to Richard. He said, absolutely. So, he's one of my favorites. I don't do many other people's songs. I got about 6 or 7 of them, but of current artists, but Richard was definitely one of them.
Yeah, so when I heard it, I immediately called Freddie P. I was like, man, what's this song y'all do with Fred and then Total Praise? He's like, oh yeah, that's something we did. And we really didn't put it out because it was long. I said, oh, I understand now because the song is like 9 minutes long, but
yeah,
it is a masterpiece.
Shout out to RFC that's watching this, all of my family RFC. I love you. I miss you. I'll see you soon. Yeah.
So now, again, just this past week, I'm listening to Erik Campbell in her show in the morning, and the Whispers are on. They got a gospel project.
Yeah, man.
So your name comes up. They like, we did original version with Fred Hammond, and I think they re-releasing it, or maybe they updated or something. I'm not really sure. That wasn't clear. But what cracked me up was Vail was saying it was such a treat to see Fred challenge the Whispers in their vocals. I was like, that's crazy. Because I remember listening to the Whispers on the radio, all of us coming up together. Man, how do you coach somebody with confidence that you grew up with? And has there ever been a moment where you were nervous or starstruck?
You know, when I said it, I went to meet him because I wanted to do the project because, you know, basically the commission vocals are two things. It's the Clark sisters vocals, right? That we that's the DNA. And then there's Detroit R&B doo-wop vocals, the whispers, the dramatics, enchantment, temptations. We take from all of that, but the whispers was one of my favorites. And it was so funny because I was studied. So when I went to meet with them, they was kind of on edge, like, you're going to try to take us away, because we ain't real gospel. And one of the brothers was Jehovah's Witness, so he couldn't do any leads. So, but he was still concerned. He's like, he wanted to do this gospel album because the other brother, I think it was Scotty, and but everyone died. I think it was Walter Scotty. He was,
Walter
he
Patton.
said, man, I really want to do this project. And Lavelle said, I really want to do this project. And my other brother said it. And so I'm sitting in there pitching myself. But all I'm doing is saying, listen, we have a lot of your vocal styles. And I took a little boombox or something, and I played certain songs from commission and
Uh-huh.
say, listen to this, and they's like, wow, I like them harmonies. Yeah, we know about you. I say, man, listen, but I studied y'all. And so I started singing. I said, you remember this? My mother bought this home. Let's take a ride to Santa Monica. You bring the mind and they step back and say, nephew. Oh, he know you got the job. So therefore, when we was in it, I forgot, it was the one that leads everything. I think it was Scotty or Walter. And Walter said, tell me what to sing. He said, you just tell me what to sing. I don't want to think. And so I gave him his lines. Like, I say, here's the line, and he would sing it like that. And I sang it in his voice. I didn't demand it. I said, I gave it to him in his voice, and then he put the ice on it. I said, hey, man, listen, we can't get off this album without doing some skeeby deaton weetons, some statin. And he got up there and said, do do quick gig 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 squig gig gig. I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I had to scat. He said, we can scat on a gospel record? I said, man, you better get out of here and do that. It was one of my favorites. So I was very respectful, but I came in with knowledge of who they were so I could put them in their space and not to be a Fred space.
Your songs, where do you go to, your moments of meditation? When you get your melodies, where's Fred most creative at? Is it in the shower? Is it driving? Where you hear your stuff from? Where it come from?
Bed.
Are you serious?
Bed. Yep. If I do a track in the daytime, I'll go home and I get in the bed. I go to bed. 10 o'clock, I could be totally gone. Been gone.
Okay.
But
That's
around 2
60
o'clock,
for us.
yeah, 65. And about 2 o'clock, I'll wake up because I also have a CPAP. I ain't sharing. I got CPAP.
Okay.
And with that CPAP, it puts you in such a doc. After 4 5 hours, man, you got the best sleep you ever had. So around 2 o'clock, I wake up and I play the track and start writing the words. An hour later or so, I'm done. And the way I got it is I have an app called BandLab. If you're a songwriter, BandLab, especially a vocalist or, anything you want to put your scratches down. And it's an app that has tracks. And what you do is you take your headphones and the mic, you plug it in your phone, you set up your app, you put your music on one track and it plays in stereo. And underneath you hit the mic and you just record the words. So I'll say like a line, like, anything, just anything, boom, 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 boom. Then I put the words and I'll sing it, go to the next part. It's just like Pro Tools for your phone. So that's when I usually get most of my lyrics, man.
He gave y'all that for free. Band lab.
Hey, man, I'll let you know.
Right by your bed. You recently did the Detroit Legends tour, you and your brother Ray. And Carvin was on that tour, and Carvin was just like, man, I just enjoy singing with that Fred. That Fred, he can just sing. He can just sing, produce. The band was hot. What's your favorite song to perform, and what's your favorite song vocally? You be like, I just love singing that vocally of your own stuff.
Well, naturally, I love Blessed. My favorite song to really sing is Clean Heart.
Mm.
And it's not for the vocal side of it. I'm not the vocal guy. Like this generation is so dope
Stop.
with the
Okay, stop.
what? No, no, no. What I mean is this. This generation is so dope with the vocals, with the control and the skill that I think they concentrate too much on that and not enough enjoying the song. I sing the melody and I'm cool with it. But I like to I take the song in while I'm singing. And I look at the audience while I'm singing. And I'm taking that moment in. And then, I got some sauce. I'm not tripping. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
now that I got my in ears, I broke down and started wearing in ears because I was old school. No, I don't want no in ears, man. I'm old school. Give me monitors. And when I heard myself back, I was so flat. So I was like, oh no, put them things in, stuff them in my ears. And it helped me come back up on my range because I'm older. I'm 65. And so my vocals, you got to push on top of it. So my in ears keep me sharp. And then I just enjoy it. But I honestly don't sing to wow people. I do know I got some sauce, but I love the music. I pay attention to the audience. I like seeing the audience sing more than I like hearing me sing. Because that's what it's really about. Gospel music is a participation sport, not a talent show. You know, magnify the Lord with me. So I'm saying, let's
And let
exalt his
us.
name together. So
I think that's one of the drawbacks today from praise and worship so much is we've gotten away from participatory to where we just watching you solo and you segue and this hit and that stuff. And it's like, when can I jump in? It's like double dutch. I want to get in.
yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
learned stuff from the street. I learned you can really be taught by everything in life. I learned how to do really RFC and stuff a little bit better because translating from commission to the RFC is we did things that basically people love to listen to. Our vocal styling, our this was that, and they joined in, but they loved to listen to us. But when I came over to RFC, it was different. I didn't know what to do. I just knew that we're supposed to make people sing. I went to a Mary J. Blige concert. That's right, I went. Didn't care. I know Mary. Back in the day, I used to always play around, be like, Mary, hey, holla at your man. What you doing? I mean, I'm saved, but listen, you could be first lady.
Just saying. Come on over
Well,
to this side.
but I'm always joking, but I went to a concert and I was paying it. I was watching her, and at that time, Mary was not known for her crisp vocals. She wasn't
Right.
known for that, but she had
There's
a
a vibe.
following. She had a vibe, and I'm sitting there listening to her, and she doing her thing, and I'm sitting there, and then the Holy Ghost said, "Turn around," and I turned around and I looked, and from the first floor in the Fox all the way to the last floor of the balcony, everybody was singing, and they was singing because they was singing with her, and to them they was crying, and they was singing to her. I'm not gonna cry, and I'm looking, and I said, people want to sing. That's all I needed. Okay, so the songs I'm going to write are going to be hooked on phonics. Glory to, glory to, glory to. Who can't sing that? Repetitive. We're blessed in the sea. We're blessed. No weapon formed. I make songs that people can sing and not, that's what I mean by it. So you can learn from anything.
What's been coincident thinking curiosity? What's been your most re-recorded song?
Man, blessed by far, I think. No weapon and blessed. Absolutely. It's been the one, the most social media, the most remixed one of my songs is blessed, for dancers and all sorts of stuff. And No Weapon has been probably next, and then Living Word, you know, Living Word. The young folk they jump on it, So yeah, I would say
Hey,
those two.
hey, can we say thank the Lord?
Come on, come on with it one time. Listen, Chance the Rapper. Thank you, Doc. Thank
We
you.
bless. Keep
Listen,
blessing
come
us.
on, royalty time.
Whatever city you in.
Thank you.
So man, you starting all this social media buzz talking about the industry has changed. Oh man, I'm retired. I'm transitioning in the film and production. Why? I mean, what? And then I want you to go into hood book. We're gonna talk about that for a minute too.
I don't want to discourage nobody, but the music business is done. It's cooked. They found another way to steal the music from the artists. Right when the artists was starting to go independent, it was like they said, we can't have this because they're gonna be making all sorts of money. And so they called it streaming. They called it streaming. And now they got rules set up to where we can't make it. Now, the beautiful thing about me is the Lord told me way back in when commission was going on our second album. We was going between I'm going on, that's my dog. I'm
Hmm.
going on and go tell somebody. The Lord told me, and I told the rest of the guys, I said, the Lord said, keep writing music, don't stop. No matter even if the record company is getting over on us, keep writing music. Do not stop. And I took that advice. And now 500 songs later, you know, I don't
Right.
have to really do nothing new. Plus, when I go out and I got something new and I'm crazy about it, I got to sing all the old stuff. And then it's time to say goodnight.
Right. 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 Yeah.
And it's like, so with that in mind, it's like, I get it. And I'll be honest with you, man. You know, I knew it was time to go when about a year ago, I was sitting in the room and I was doing vocals. Uh, and this was before Keith and Marcus. I'm in my own and doing a song for somebody. And they was paying me a nice little grip, to do this vocal. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I'm in there, and it's just one little part that I would have knocked out so fast in the past. Boom, new next. Boom. And it was just one little part, and my voice wouldn't do what I told it to do. It was either flat at the front of it or flat at the end of it. And I'm not a auto-tune guy, meaning I'm not gonna do it raggedy and say, hey, go put auto-tune on that, Melodyne that. I got to do it right. Now I'll put a little sauce on to give it a little edge. I know how to sing with it, but that day I didn't have nothing on with it. And man, as I did it, I got so frustrated. I put the mic down and I had a family member in the room and they said, what's wrong? And I put my head down, man, and I just cried. I said,
Wow.
it's time to hang him up. When I can't do this now, when I finish whatever I do, even like today, it's going to be dope now, but it
Right.
ain't the
Right. Right.
same. It's like, I got to work this hard to get this out. And the industry has taken it away from us. It's like, man, I'm done. It's
By
like,
your own standards, you weren't satisfied.
that was it.
You
And
could.
I wonder too, I always wondered why Walter Hawkins, who was one of the greatest writer singers, just faded away. Didn't say nothing. I look at Bishop Winans. He out there. He could do another record. He might. He made this and that. I got you. Shirley Caesar. I just heard my nephew David did an album on. He said, she said, Auntie about to drop. I'm listening. And I'm looking at Andre Crouch, man, who was a shell of himself, still trying to make it. Mano is producing. He's still trying to make it because there's a level of saying, I need to still feel relevant. I'm relevant. I'm straight. If I go off I'm in legacy mode.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so I'm okay with just saying, you know what? I'm going to go out on my terms. I'm going to make one more record just for the fun of it to say, God, I love you. Thank you for this. And fans, my followers, not all my people that partner with me, that let me come into their life and help them along. I just want to say thank you. Whether it sells or not, I do not I do not care. It's just going to be one thing people say, I got Fred's last record. Now, of course, I'm going to have a vault worth of music so that if I transition,
Right.
when I transition, my
Right.
family will have something to say. This is my dad's. This is my family's last piece of music. I'll have a vault. But other than that, man, I'm okay, man. I've been blessed and graced with just favor of people, God and man, and I'm okay.
You got a direction for that project already, or you hearing stuff? And when we
Yeah, here's the vibe on it. I'm calling back all my old producers. I ain't doing one track from nobody. Hey, Unc, I got this track. Let me send it to you. I got this song. Nope, I'm going back. I called Noel Hall, and I would bringing him back. If Marvin and Daryl were available, I'd bring them back. But I'm bringing Noel back, and we're gonna sit in the room and write Big Kev. And then I'm bringing Calvin and Philip back to do a song, and then we're gonna do this. And then I'm bringing back who else I'm bringing back? I've already started. Ace of Ward, who works with me all the time. We're going to sit in the studio. We actually did it yesterday. I'm putting it on my Patreon. that Ray started tuning drums because I said, nope, I don't want all that. Do the keyboards at first, and then to do this, we're gonna get in the room like I did with commissioning the third back at RMJ. Strike up the band, turn that red light on, and everybody play it. I want that feeling. And man, people is coming. They're like, don't let big bro, please let me get a part of this. Please let me get a part. Corey Henry reached out to me. And A. Lynn probably coming up on this, and Warren Campbell. And so these are the people I'm going to be talking to. I only got room for about 10 songs. And at the end of the day, I'm going to do it this way. And this way, there's no pressure. And I want it to be big. And I want it to be unique. You know, I want it to be singable.
I'll bring a cowbell, a little more cowbell.
That's it. Because I need more cowbell.
You got to have more cowbell.
I have more cowbell.
Man, her book was a genius idea. Where that concept come from? You got a little social media pushback. But that's another thing. You ain't scared of social media pushback. You jump out there, you on relationships, you on comedic. Where you get that kind of courage from?
Listen, if one thing Commission taught me, I was offended back in the day when they talked about us wearing blue jeans. I walked into Larry Robinson when he was on, God's World was on Libanoids. And I walked in there to get, because he had a whole rack of Commission records. And I walked in there and I was so happy to see him. I said, hey, Larry, how was it selling? It ain't selling that good. People like the music. They come in and they say, where's that song? It's so sweet. Where's that song? I'm going on. And when I point to what y'all got on, they say, oh, no, they can't be saved. And it would break my little heart because of what we had on. We ain't have one hole in our jeans.
Fully clothed.
Now they got rips all over the place. Now it's okay to do it.
Right.
But I heard them, and I'll never forget, we went somewhere, man, they picketed us. We went to a convention or something, man, there was people outside. This music is out of the devil. This music is up. Like, I looked at them, I said, what in the doggone world? Hurt my heart. Until one lady say, I appreciate y'all because my son, I couldn't get him to go to church, and he's in that room, and he loved it. So I'm used to it now, man. Listen, y'all say what y'all gonna say. I use it all because they'll be on to something else next. It's Drewski this week. It's Mike Todd next week. It's Jamal Bryant next week. And it's me. It's Kirk after that. And it's just a cycle, man.
You jump out there. I'll be like, there go Fred.
That lady came after me. You hear me? But you know what it is? I also understand the come up. In hip hop, they have a beef. There'll be an unknown rapper that'll go after Eminem. And if Eminem give him some smoke, then he gets to shine. Unfortunately, he generally destroys it. We just did that with Drake and my man.
Not
like us.
Kendrick.
But people come after you when you're really sitting on a pinnacle. People come after you because they want your followers. And I saw that for what it was. So I realized I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm just use you to promote me. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to use you to promote me. The reality is this, man. The thing that promoted Hood Book, that inspired it was, I have a foundation called the Fred Hammond Adoption Awareness Organization. My son Darius was been adopted. That process that we went through to see those kids in the foster care system who were hurting, they didn't do anything wrong, but they're in a system where they don't have a mother or a father. And it was crazy because they usually have, in the foster care system, shout out to them, they're dope, they're doing what they can, but they're overrun with Black kids. And they have in their room maybe 2 bunks, maybe 1 bunk, a dresser, a closet. And at night, they have to close the door, lock the door. They have to knock on the door to say, I got to go to the bathroom. What does that remind you of? Prison. Early, this is the first thing they see. And if they age out, man, they're usually bitter. They're usually hurt. 50% of them, I got to reach out to Bishop Ellis because he has something going on and I want to be a part of it in the city of Detroit. I just want to lend my name, help some finance or whatever I need to do. But I understand, and when we were adopting Darius, they brought some people out, some kids out. Every dude in there wasn't doing this kind of crime. Jokers was hunched over, like when we told this story, we was like, hey, you take 5, I'll take 5. because the plight of it. And when they age out, they're bitter. 50% of them either get killed, go to prison, and then the other 50% barely makes it, and then some sneak through and become success. So I wanted to tell this story from an adoption standpoint. But I wanted to do it in a way that young people or people in the street would understand, not just young people. I made this movie for Tubi. I didn't make it for TNN. I didn't make it for Impact. I didn't make it, they probably wouldn't play it anyway, because it's a little real. And the way the movie went was this kid finds a long-lost relative. He goes over her house. He's hurt. And two questions she asked. Do you read the Bible? He said, no, I don't get into all that Shakespeare stuff. She said, well, God has a way he can reach you in different translations that you will understand. Bing! Do you believe in God? He said, no. Why should I believe in somebody who don't believe in me? My mother and father was killed when I was 4. Does that sound like somebody who loved somebody? So no, and it was hurt. So she prayed, she read a scripture. I know the plans I have for you. And as she finishes, she takes him to his room, gets in that room, and he says, can I read these books? He sees the box over there, goes down there. A voice tells him, find the book in the box. He brings the book out. It has nothing on it. It has an iPad, and the iPad has a Harry Potter type riddle. Doth ancient writings hold the key to life? From front to end and middle, true it doth this one of 66 lie the answer to life's riddle. And it goes on. He opens up the book, ain't nothing in the book. He goes back over to the box and pulls out some metaverse binoculars. And when he puts it on, AI scans his whole life and drops him outside the Garden of Eden, including what he's went through and what the real story of God was. With dance, he's a dancer. He loves drawing, with art, with fashion, and it talks to him the way he needs to talk to. I believe, man, it's, I just talked to somebody from Broadway yesterday, and they was like, it's got some developing to go. I said, just keep your eye on it. Give me 3 years to run it on the street and then come back. Let's have a conversation. The Wiz, Wicked, Lion King. This is the kingdom version of that.
Man, I mean, you got the plight and the pain of a trailblazer.
Yeah.
And look at
That's
Dr.
it.
King.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah. So, we applaud that. We celebrate that. It's funny because I was looking at your IMBD actors history and stuff. I didn't know they said you was in Left Behind in 2000. Is that
I
accurate?
did something in there. And plus I did I did something in there, and plus I did some music for it. I just finished doing I just finished doing Tyler Perry's The Gospel of Christmas.
Okay, that was in there too.
Everybody in there. Everybody. It'll be out next year. Everybody up in that mug. Yolanda and Tank and John Gray and the Clark sisters, Shirley Caesar, Ann Nesby. You name it, they up in Fantasia. And I play the father to Smokey and Tank. And I can't tell you too much about it, but they killed me off early.
So yeah, okay.
funny
Make sure
that
you watch. So watch from the beginning.
Don't miss it. Listen. Here's the thing. I don't know why actors always love to die in movies so they can be dramatic. Oh, Brad.
That's acting. So what have you learned in your transition in your film making process? Have you taken things from music over there, or is it a whole different genre space? What have you learned?
It's the same, E, but I've been doing film since I was 19. I started at Henry Ford Community College. On a humble, I took a filmmaking 101 class just because I needed to fill up a credit. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was I believe, just coming out of the National Guard. And I didn't know what I was doing, man. So I was taking stuff like the history of Michigan and criminal science, and I had food technology. I was all over the place.
The origin of badminton.
Period. You know the class I did the worst at?
What's that?
Music theory.
Oh.
I was horrible. I quit. I dropped that class so fast. Man, listen, if y'all ain't trying to teach me how to play He's All Right, what you know about Jesus, I need to know all this for. It was the boringest class. And the teacher, he was so dope. And I was like, man, I dropped out of music doggone theory. But I did take this film class and I liked it. I understood it. And so from there, I just kept my eye on it. And then, as we started doing videos, I paid attention. Then Juan and Walter from Compo, we got involved and I was writing commercials for them. And then they would take me on the film shoots. I was in a few of their films. And I was around F. Gary Gray and all these different directors, and I was sitting like a sponge. This was way back then.
Yeah.
I just love telling the story. So now I've been doing this since, man, the 90s. And so I got all my own equipment. I didn't care for the film industry. Now, I did do my due diligence. I did a film. I had a pitch for it. And I went to all of the people, MTV, BET, Warner Brothers, so-and-so. And everybody wanted to change my film. Like, I had an HBCU for in one of my films. And it was an HBCU that I was making up. And it was dope. And it was going to have HBCU culture. And I went to Warner Brothers. And they said that, nah, we don't want to make it an HBCU. We'll make it a church. I said, this is a university. Yeah, we'll put the college in the basement at the church. I said, I'm straight on y'all. See, that's the kind of change it. Now, if they say we want to make it bigger and better, but by the time they finish telling me, now you ain't going to make that dime. Everybody else is going to make money. And they was arrogant with it. I said, I'm not going to change that much of it. I'm going to tell Jesus the way I need to tell it. And this is before social media really started popping. When I realized, man, I can make this and get it on social media and talk to my people, I'm good. And if they want it, they want it. If they don't, we're cool. But I get to tell the story. I have a vertical series coming out, getting ready to come out. And I'll hold the name back, but it's a vertical series of my life, meaning some of the craziest things in my doggone life that has happened. Like that one time this dude came to he got every church in the city, but he came to us first. A prophet from New York told me, hey, say, I'm sending this guy. He got money he want to give you. I said, is he relevant? He said, I think so. Wait a minute. You the prophet.
Tell me.
Tell me.
What you see?
This dude came in, bro. He told everybody, get up there at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. He stood there and said, you know what, Fred Hammond, you have been such a blessing. All of RFC was in there. Man, we was packed up in that garage. All of RFC, you have been such a blessing to me. My father was the biggest drug dealer in Jamaica. And me and my brother, he got killed, and me and my brother ended up splitting over $100 million. And I just want to bless from the blood money. I want to bless it. And I'm coming here tonight to give you, Fred Hammond, your personal $1 million, and RFC, the ministry you have, $2 million, 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you know them jiggies started shouting, and I sat there like this. I was like, okay. Because I'm still from Detroit.
Right.
If it sounds too good to be true,
right,
I'll see it when it go in the account. That's okay. I just scare him off. But this is what tipped me off. My mother said, oh my God. And Ray was standing there and they was all holding hands. And my mother said, man, all your songs have gotten me through quiet, dark times when I was over there dealing with that drug situation. My mother said, what was your favorite Fred song? And he stuttered. He said, it's Hallelujah. He don't know him. He don't know him. That's what he ended up saying. He said, it's just all of them. But they didn't want to mess up the bag. So he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I said, oh, no. I'm cool on you, Doc. I'm cool. Man, that dude went through everybody in Detroit. He went through every church with the same old thing. And people would give him money. That's how he survived. They say, hey, I'm getting ready to give you this money. My ATM card it got messed up with my assistant. Can you give me a couple $1,000 out the bank? And he did that to everybody. So he would walk around $15,000, $20,000 for other people's money, never paying them back. That's the kind of stuff we're going to do.
That's going to be a whole series.
Oh,
stories from Fred's vault.
I'm going to flip it. to a degree. I just told you all, but at the end of the day, these are some of the most ridiculous things that have happened to me. And I'm a director, and I get to do it. I love directing more than I love writing songs. I love creating. I can edit my own self, but I have a dope team. Bree is back home. She's dope. My niece Trini, Ray is the mixer. I got dope DPs. I got the best cameras I need to do the job I need because God deserves my excellence. So I've invested very well in this stuff to tell the story the way I want to tell it so that it doesn't get tainted.
You sound like you're very big about holding on to the integrity of your
Here
projects
it
too,
is.
versus selling them out.
When we did Hood Book first, we went with one of the biggest promoters in the music business. And I won't go into who he was and what he did, but he did it all. He was one of the biggest. He don't like gospel. He don't like gospel anything. He says it don't sell and it's corny. So when we were putting the show together, they was trying to get me to do the serpent and Eve having an affair and a this and that and kind of twist it because it ain't gonna sell good. They want you to keep your this and another. And finally, I just said we did a showcase down in South Carolina. Everybody down there, his promoter friend said, "Yo, this is absolutely insane. It's dope." He said, "But we ain't gonna know how to sell it." So finally, I just walked away. I said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go and shoot it because I got to keep the integrity of what I know it to be. The serpent and Eve didn't have no affair from what I read. And this one and that one, I don't believe Adam was a simp either. I don't believe this was that. So I'm going to do it. And if I fall, I'm going to fall on my own terms. I'm not going to let you take me down because I tried something stupid."
What
And
about the money, man? They got the money on the table.
hey, man, listen, I've learned to walk away from the bag. I've walked away from so many bags. I just tell you, I've walked away from so many bags. And then I've been in situations where the bag came and it went south. You know, the bag will put you in a position where you'll be waiting and they'll hold you hostage and they'll be calling you at the midnight hour, talking about, "Hey man, I'm with my family. Could you sing No Weapon?" Man, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not your little PlayStation gospel dude, you know. And so I realized the money offered ain't always real. The money offered ain't always real, and all money ain't good money. And so I've learned that and so with that in mind, what I feel about the story, I have to keep true to it because I don't want to sell it out. I just don't want to sell it out. And I'm the one got to stand before God at the end and say why I did it. So it is what it
All
is.
those all those gifts and talents. Man, we got to wrap up. Listen, what do you want the legacy of Commission to be? What do you want the legacy of Fred Hammond to be? Both the artist, and then what do you want the legacy of Fred Hammond, the man, to be?
I think the commission of the legacy of Commission is cemented. Even with the left and the right and the ups and the downs, it's cemented as one of the greatest gospel groups that changed the face of music. And even the old songs way back in the 90s, they're going to stand for the rest of their life. And it will always be known as this group changed the way R&B did. The groups that came after us were groups that listened to us. We went to Don the Great's church, and a young Devante came out. He said, "Man, I'm Don the Great's son." And he was iced up. And we said, "Oh man, you doing?" He said, "Nah, man, I'm doing a group. I'm doing a group. I just got signed to MCA, and we're gonna do a lot of music to sound like y'all. Who you think we think?" I said, "Well, what's the name of the group?" He said, "Jodeci." And I said, "Really?" He said, "It's our names mixed together. You remember Lil Cedric and the Hayless?" Yeah, Lil Ced, him and KC and
Jojo.
JoJo, and I said, "Really?" They didn't have a record. That record didn't come out for another year and a half. But those were the people that we influenced, and it changed our Boys to Men. We influenced, and those people came from Miles Around Tank, Jamie Foxx, and how we did music. So that legacy is cemented. No matter what, it's going to be what it is. And Fred Hammond, RFC, I want people to just say, "Man, I love the love that I see that they're giving Richard Smallwood." HBCU bands are playing Total Praise. He wrote from his heart. And I love that for him. I said, "Man, this is beautiful." And I want that to be, basically it. That's man, Fred wrote songs that we could sing. One of my favorite songs uh was about what's my man name? I'm Matt E. I'm 65.
Hey, it happens, man. You gotta
Names
write it down.
jumping out, names be jumping away. I see the
Like,
guy,
what's that song?
but one of my favorite songs. I write the song that make the whole world
Oh,
see.
Barry Manilow. Is that
Barry,
Barry
Man-
Manilow?
Barry Manilow. And I was around the greatest man. I was around the greatest songwriter that ever did it, Marvin Winans and Mike Brooks were my two key influences of learning how to write songs. By the time I got commissioned, I wasn't no songwriter. Mike had a book, he had a page full of books, songs. And I said, that's gonna work for us. I was able to help influence it with, different ways to arrange it and being part of the music. But those two guys I wanted to learn from. And so as I started working, I want to be known as the guy that when you really feel at your lowest, you're gonna put something on, you know, you're gonna put something on from Fred, and he's gonna say, "Man, this took me over." I want to be known as that and a nice dude. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, most of the people that know me, that lady didn't like me. I don't even know it, but you ain't gonna be liked by everybody, you know.
Everybody, yeah.
But the majority of the people notice me. I'm a nice dude. When I come in your presence, I'm nice. I'm not arrogant. I don't trip. I take my time with you. And I'm just, people say, man, he's a nice dude. My mother paid me the biggest compliment, and I'll let this go. Is right when she was dying, before she couldn't talk again. We had moments, just beautiful moments, because growing up, it wasn't so beautiful. It wasn't horrible, but my mother treated me estranged, and I never knew why. I never knew why, but I always thought it was because I was the big boy. My uncles told me when my father Ray died, now you the big boy in the house. I'm only 8. Now, Duty and Day Day, Ray and Dave, they the little boys. She got to take care of them a certain way. But you the man of the house now. And I'm like, man, what is that? So when she treated me different, I read it as the big boy don't get this. They don't get all the little baby talk and rubbing the head and all that. You big boy, be a man. And so one of the things she said that blew me away right before she couldn't talk anymore, she said she missed time with me because of what she thought about it. And she said, somebody asked her, now this is my mom. I'm the bastard. She was the whore. And this is my mom who looked at me as I was the problem all my life, pretty much. But when she was getting ready to die, before she did it, she said, somebody asked me on radio, what is it like being Fred Ham's mom? And she said, Fred is the nicest man I've ever met. I'm done.
Ooh.
Everybody else can say what they want. Now I'm done. I waited
Yeah.
all my life for that moment. And that was my testimony. She said, Fred Hammond is the nicest man I've ever met in my. And after that, she had a stroke and couldn't talk no more for a year. And she went on out of here.
A healing moment.
That's the thing. Like Brienne just came home. She came home a year or so ago. And I told her, I said, life is gonna whoop you. And it's okay. You always got a place. Always got a place. And she did all that growing up gospel stuff, this, that, and other. And it could have been a lot worse. Stuff she should have said. I've heard people's kids cuss them out on stage on the phone. And just that and other, go back and forth with it. Brienne could have made up stuff, did not she what she said. It didn't put me in the best light. But guess what? It could have been worse. So I didn't have to respond. I didn't have to respond. It is her perception. But one day she walked in this house and said, Dad, I effed up. I'm sorry. And my daughter came home and she said, I want you to pick my husband for me. I want you to tell me what I fell out in the day. Brianne, you coming up on 40. I
It
do
don't
not
matter.
care. And she's been home. My other son Darius is home. I don't want him to leave. He got a good trucking, a dope trucking job. He's a manager at like Kenworth, one of them places. Uh, and I have a family. I have a beautiful family, and I just love that they think the same thing that my mother thinks. And people that know me say, "Man, Fred is the nicest dude I've ever." Legacy.
Man, eh, that's a good note to end on. I got a segment I'm gonna do. This is a new segment I'm gonna do. It's called "If I Could, I Would."
Mhm.
So if you could give me a dream team band and singers, you could do 5 band members, 5 singers. If I could, I would.
Marcus Miller, bass.
Ace, okay.
Let me see who's doing keys, because all my keyboard players are my
You gotta give me one.
I give you one. But I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna put Corey Henry on organ.
Okay.
No slight to my other people.
No slight.
I got a dream team already always with me, but I'm just talking about people I ain't played with.
Okay. It's your team, your dream.
On guitar, Paul Reed Smith.
Okay.
On let me see, on drums, I ain't did drums yet, right?
Hmm.
It would probably be Lil Jon
Okay.
or Dennis Chan.
Dog. Little John. We're going with your first one, Little John. Okay.
And, keys, I already said keys, right?
The
No, I said
organ, Corey
organ.
Henry.
On organ, I said organ. On keys, I'm probably doing what's my boy's name? Man, let me tell you, I see him in my face. I see him in my face. It's just because I haven't worked with him. But,
Yeah. Well, go to your singers. We come back to keys. Who are your 5 singers?
5 singers. Tank.
Hey, okay.
Give you another tenor.
It could be
Um,
female guys, anybody. Your top 5 with your 5. You want a group, super group.
Tank. Um, let's go to female. Kimber,
Okay.
Karen Clark, Dorinda Clark,
Okay.
and give me another male. Give me another male. Man, I sang with Brian already,
Okay. Yeah.
and I've sang with Charlie several times. So I'm gonna go with Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
I sang with
Yeah.
John already. I sang with, but people have sang with that would be me. Even though I sang with the Clocks is gonna be on everything that ever I think about doing. That's me. That's
I
my
don't know
favorite.
how they get better, but on the
Yes,
Legends tour, they
that's
took
brother.
to another level.
They killed that thing.
I was
You
like,
hear what I'm
what?
saying? I'm gonna tell you about that Legend tour, man. I appreciate it so much. It was so dope being with Carvin, and to him to trust me and say, "Man, I'm in your hands." And we put him in the best light. And I told Carvin what Kirk told me. Kirk pulled me aside and said, "Fred, I'm going to feature you on this tour. I want you to shine. I appreciate you so much." And every night he set me up to be that. He went as far as say the greatest of all times. And I'm like, that's debatable, but man, I'm not gonna trip here. The fact that my little brother thinks that way of me, I'm gonna take it.
Receive it today.
But he put me there, and I said the same thing to Carvin. I said, Carvin, your legacy, because of you, Marvin, Michael, and Ronald, I want to give back to you. I really wish Bishop would have jumped on this tour a little bit, a couple of dates here and there, because I wanted to bless it. But I understand, man. You know, he's got some health stuff going on. He don't like touring all that old stuff, and he costs too much. He too high.
Yeah.
Too high.
Icons.
Carvin, we good.
Okay, 2 more. If you could sit with anybody in history other than God, who would you sit with?
I sat with Stevie several times. That's my guy. Obama. I would sit with Obama, man, and just chill. And just talk.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've sat with all the great preachers
Yeah. Yeah.
and the great thinking minds of theology, but Obama is definitely one person. Him, I would sit right with him and just chill, man. Let's just kick it for about a couple hours.
I like that. Last one. If you could pick a perfect day, what would that look like?
Um, my family, Ray, Dave, their family, their wives, my family, my whole family. And We're on an island somewhere just chilling for about 2 weeks. Right off the sand, right off the beach. A pool before you get to the beach. I like when those are the ones I love. You gotta go through the pool to get to the beach. And we're just there hanging out, just, you know, fellowshipping, loving on each other, sitting there. One day, I'm gonna waste 2 days. I'm gonna go to the beach, and I'm gonna sleep from sunup to sundown, just watching the ocean for 2 days. I'm 65, so I don't feel like doing all that
Which
sight
ain't old.
listen, I don't feel like doing all them sightseeing and rope climbing and all this stuff, walking through the mountains and the
You
rivers
ain't rock climbing.
and nah, man, listen, I ain't gonna go on no vacation when I get off vacation.
Or to
But
the doctor.
I just sit there and chill, man. I could watch the water all day. What people don't realize is this, and I didn't realize it till I got my boat. Shout out to Harbor Hill down there. I didn't understand that there are healing properties in the water. Okay. Like they're scientific. I just know I would be stressed out at face to face, and me and the guys would be sitting there, we doing stuff, and we're under the pressure of this. And we would take a break. I say, man, let's go to the river. And we take the jet skis and we go down to the boat. And when I pull up on the boat and I get near the water, life got better. Like
Mm.
physically, whatever that anxiety I was feeling went away. And I'm sitting there and I'm just going on. So I asked an engineer. He was a diver down there that he salvaged stuff. He went down to dive in the Detroit River to get things and get people if they were down there. And I said, man, how come I feel better when I come to the water? It's like something happens. He said, because there's a conversation going on in the atmosphere between the moon, the sun, and the ocean and being by
Energy.
the water. There's energy being exchanged, and you're in the middle of it. Why do you think that the moon has power to push the tide in and pull it up oceans? It controls it, and you're a little speck in the middle of that, and that conversation is going on, and it takes all of the negativity out. So that's why I could go to the ocean. I'll add Big Kev to Big Kev Kenyon. Y'all come on out, let's hang out.
Okay.
I would just sit there, man, and just enjoy God, my family, and we would just eat, drink,
Have a perfect day.
have a perfect day.
Last things. Pick one. Detroit or Dallas.
Please. Detroit.
Oh, okay. All
No
right.
shade on Dallas. No shade on Dallas because y'all got a blizzard going on right now, and I
We
can
got
put
a
on
vortex.
I can put on the jacket. So, but the weather has got to be something different. I grew up there. That's my home. I tell everybody all the time, I was born in Texas, but I was built in Detroit.
Sir. Yes, sir. Winans or Clark sisters?
Clarks. Love you,
Clark.
brother. Clark. Listen to me,
Clark all
man.
day.
Clark sisters are the greatest group ever. I'm talking R&B, gospel, because they're still doing it at this great level. And then they're nice people. They love Fred. They love me.
Period.
They treat me like their little brother, and I just honor them. Clark sisters.
They honor you as the nicest man in the world.
Nice man. Nice man.
Last one. Music or film?
Now film. Because I can do both. In film, I could do music and I could do film. But in music, you can really only do music unless you do a little music video.
Well, you got it here.
Listen, hey, E, my
Yeah.
film, I'm going after a different audience. My films is not, the Love Network or the Lifetime.
Okay.
It's not that.
You see
My
something different.
films are going directly to Tubi is where I want them to go. Because right when Gutter Mama 2 and Gutter Mama 8 go off, I want them to see something where, yeah, it's a little ratchet that'll end up righteous. And we'll
Like
show
that.
you where God comes to the gutter. I can talk that language. So with that in mind, I love film. Me, Marcus, and Keith we just did finish it. I'm about to put it out. It's called Barbershop Therapy.
Let's go.
Keith,
Let's go.
Marcus, and myself, we play these entrepreneurs in the city, old school entrepreneurs in the city. And we own a barbershop and a rim shop and a cell phone shop. But in the barbershop, we have different people. And the first lady deals with, I'll just tell you, I won't tell you the plot. The first episode deals with one of my beauticians, stylists. She doesn't want the gift of prophecy because when she gets it, it's always bad. So she's kind of ghetto with it, and she doesn't want what she sees, which is a murder, and how God is trying to reach somebody. He allows somebody else to get taken out. And so it's got our songs in it, but it's a real dope piece, man. It's called Barbershop Therapy. And then I worked on one with Terrell based on Men in the Gadarenes, the demoniac. Terrell, when I tell you that Joker, man, you wouldn't recognize it. He killed this thing. It's a little rough though. It's a little
Yeah.
rough.
That's right. Between gutter one and gutter two.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Put the
What was the
Sabbath devil
name?
in
Gutter 8.
gutter eight. Man, I love you. Thank you for this time. I'm gonna give you closing remarks. Look, like, comment, share. Let me tell you a quick story about Fred when he wasn't one of the nicest men in the world. You know, I used to drum a little bit. I had a little momentum going. You know, in the city there was Dana Davis, Mike Williams, Joey Bruce, few others. I'm playing for BBCC Thomas Whitfield. So my brother they just started commission, and he was finishing playing with Tremaine, him and Mike Wright. And so the gig came up at New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ on Litwood. And Joey wasn't available, and y'all said, "You up?" I said, "All right." So we rehearsed. Everything was cool in the basement. Got to New Jerusalem. I don't know if you remember, but the drums was elevated like on a platform. And so, yeah, y'all, he was like, "Count it off, E." Him and Mike Brooks, count it off. So I did it. Like did old Zagadoo. Remember Zagadoo?
Zagadoo.
I think you coined that phrase. A Zagadoo is the snare. You got to intro with a Zagadoo. Zagadoo. And Mike and Fred looking at me like, "What is you doing?" I'm like, I'm doing what I'm doing. Long story short, after that gig was over, him and Mike Brooks, the late great Mike Brooks, laughed me to a scorn. It was like, bro, they was like, "Williams, you better come off the road. Cause look, this could never happen again." They was like, "You're done." And I never picked up drumsticks again. I went over to the management side, thank
Killed
God.
your
So
dream.
smashed it.
Killed your dream of being a drummer. You was in line.
I was in line. I was
When we
next
told
up.
you get out the line. That's how the Lord told me when I preached. I heard myself preach one time, and the Lord said, "Never mind." Never. A
You
lot of
thought I
people,
said preach. I said pray.
listen, see a lot. A lot of people don't listen to the Lord when He say, "I don't want you." He basically said, "Don't play yourself no more. You do. Oh, okay, I'm fine. Listen,
Play your face. Man, give us closing remarks and then we out of here.
family, love you. My Detroit family, the Trent family, I love you all. To everybody out there, thank you for following my man E. This is a lifelong friend, him, Dave, and myself, along with Mike, Ardmore, you know. And I want to shout out to two women really invested in us, not just commission, but in us. Number one, Mildred Hammond and Joyce Williams. Joyce Williams let us play all that boom, 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 boom. That's what she called it. You don't know all that boom, 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 but she would let us play. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Enough.
One
But
more song.
we had to go to the house because the drums is just too big to take anywhere else. But she allowed us to absolutely. I told her that when I was at Greater Grace the last time, that she allowed us and invested in us. So when she sees me, and she sees everybody, and I'm just talking about me,
Mhm.
she can take pride in saying, "I helped it. I helped you get where you at." My mother definitely is the one helped me where I get where I'm at. So with that, shout out to Auntie and Irv, definitely. Definitely. You know, Irv is the one that took us down to the Art Institute and let us play. He always pushed us, took us fishing, but he pushed us musically. So shout out to that. And shout out to everybody in Detroit. You know, it's all love. Everybody don't worry about the commission stuff. Everybody's good. At the end of the day, everybody's good. It was time for us to go different ways, but the legacy will remain. You hear me? And shout out to RF Doggone C. Thank you all.
See, in the house.
Believe it. And I go home. I went home for the Kirk thing, and I went to rehearsal. Man, I didn't want to embarrass myself by crying. But man, they sounded amazing in there. They were still working. They had that work ethic, and they sounded amazing. So shout out to the Detroit scene and all the pastors and whatnot.
It's the genius, living legend, Fred Hammond. Thank you again for another episode of eThought Conversations. We'll see you again. Like, comment, share. My eThought for today is what you believe about life is what you perceive about life, which determines what you receive in this life. Yep. Thank you, Fred. I love you.
Love you, Doc. Easy.